SKOL Vikings honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run out the score. You hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. SKOL Vikings, let's go.
Not unless you had a brain transplant.
Viking Nation, prepare to enter Valhalla with the most entertaining podcast of the Minnesota Vikings. And now, Odin's Den with A-Train and the Hammer.
Hi, this is legendary coach Bud Grant, thanking you for listening to this podcast. Thor's Bedroom. Odin's Den. Oh, Odin's Den. You're listening to Odin's Den. And don't forget my rummage sale coming up.
Oh, baby, welcome to Thor's Bedroom. It's episode 117. And hiding under the bed over there in Thor's bedroom is the Hammer.
A-Train, how the hell are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We actually got another win, so that's pretty sweet. I mean, let's give a round of applause for our Minnesota Vikings for getting a win at home in Lambeau versus the Slackers, the Crackers, the Hackers, the Code Clackers, whatever you want to call them. We'll get into that game, of course, but welcome back to Odin's Den, episode 117. We're coming at you pre-recorded live. Monday, November 2nd. Happy Hallows Eve is past us now. I went to a Halloween party, got drunk, and played a board game. What did you do for Halloween, Hammer?
Oh, not much.
Did you go trick-or-treating for chess pieces and Everlast CDs?
I handed out candy to trick-or-treaters.
You actually had some?
I had a couple. Yeah,
That's interesting.
Not very many.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty much told to stay indoors this year.
I did the lazy thing. I just kind of threw on my old cement truck driving outfit.
That's not even a costume.
Well, I had the hard hat and the yellow vest, and so I went as a cement truck driver, quote unquote.
Wow.
So that's what I used to wear when I used to drive a cement truck.
For like 2 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
I'm back to driving a meat truck, of course.
Really smart on top of things fellow.
Not unless you had a brain transplant.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
Boy, what an amazing game.
It was this was probably one of the funnest games to watch. No surprise the two wins were the best games, but, well, I mean, the Seattle game was pretty solid, but
beating the Packers is always great.
That always feels good.
I beat you in fantasy football this week.
Yep.
I beat you in the score prediction.
By 1 point, I wouldn't feel too good about that.
Hammers off the schneid, baby. 2-5. I'm coming back.
The fuck's a schneid?
Getting off the schneid. You never heard that?
I don't even know what that means. Getting off the poop ride. I know what that means.
Well, I mean, it's sort of a baseball expression, but it's kind of...
Well, this ain't a baseball pod card now, is it?
But I mean, like when a hitter's in a slump and then he finally gets a hit, like, oh, that guy got off the schneid and finally
I've never heard that in my 38 years on this planet. Oops, I just gave away my age. Oops.
Okay.
Never heard that, folks.
Well, now you know something new.
Yeah, yeah, I'll surely pack that away in an important spot in my shitty failing brain. All right, let's move on. It's episode 117. Here we are. I hope everybody had a good All Hallows Eve. Don't eat too many Reese's Pieces with a razor blade in it, courtesy of me.
Oh,
thank you for... What?
How dare you? Don't even joke about something like that.
Little trick in there for your treat.
Yeah, on a serious note, always inspect the candy before you eat it.
Unless you want to have fun.
Oh, jeez.
Really party. Surprise yourself.
Such a party to eat a razor blade.
Yeah, it's called playing candy roulette.
Ugh.
You never done that in Russia before?
No.
Come on, man. All right. This is episode 117. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Tell a friend. If you want to support us and our friends, go to purplepainforums.com.
There you go.
Where you can clack your keys and make fun of secret hidden Packer fans all over the boards. Like Vike Cycle.
There's only one or two of them, I think.
Vike Cycle. He's a real humdinger of a Packer fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we suspect anyway.
Yeah, we suspect.
All right. Yes, purplepaintforums.com. Go over there and share your thoughts of this season with the community. Lots of thoughts going on.
All sorts of fun threads. We can make fun of the Packers right now,
yes,
which a lot of us are doing.
Yes.
They got off-topic threads. I posted a Bob Menery voice compilation video.
Bob Menery. Hell yes. We should play one of Bob. Damn it. I should have had a Bob ready for the episode. They're usually short. He's really funny. He fits right in on this show, you know.
Well, he did have one. There was one compilation where he had voiceover of David Bakhtiari and Aaron Rodgers at I think it was a basketball game where Bakhtiari was downing beers and Aaron Rodgers was kind of a little weakling about it and could barely drink one.
Man. Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I know what you were talking about.
We love Bob Menery here at the podcast.
We do. You know what? Let me see if I can pull one up here real quick. All right, here's one. Here's one right here. I'm going to blast it through to the people. Don't say anything, Hammer. We're just going to play this here.
And Peterman in the shotgun, let's be honest. Last year, fucking terrible. Let's see this year. Takes a shotgun, looking across the middle, and oh, God! Same story as last year. Right to the defender. Excuse me, Peter, I just threw up my fucking mouth. Our shitbag titty fucker of the week goes to Nathan Peterman. This motherfucker threw for like 24 yards, 5 for 18, 2 interceptions. Last year we picked on him. Hoping we didn't have to this year, but he fucking blows. Just like when you leave a cup of milk in the sink and you take a sip out of it, it's sour and gross. You want to throw up. That's Nathan Peterman this week.
Oh, that Nathan Peterman this week, boy. He's sure like a sour cup of, Kirk Cousins is like leaving a cup of ranch on the counter and then putting it on your pizza and realizing it didn't really help the taste.
Bob Menery tells it like it is.
He does tell like it is. Yeah, go check him out. He's on YouTube. He's on, I think he kind of got famous on TikTok originally, but I know not everybody's on the TikTok. I know I like it myself. I dabble in it, but all right. Let's move on with the episode. Check us out online. Check out purplepaintforums.com online as well. Let's get into the news. There's not enough news to even warrant playing the intro, but I'll just go over some quick transactions. We can talk maybe a couple injuries, things of that nature. So since October 27th, the contract was terminated with vested veteran Brett Jones. Those are very interesting words that the Vikings.com website likes to use. We also released Cale Garrett from the practice squad. We signed Marcus Sales. I almost said Shales. I think thinking of Marcus Sherrills combining in my brain there. Practice squad protected Chase McLaughlin. We might have actually talked about those on the last one, did we, or no?
I believe we mentioned us protecting Chase McLaughlin for sure.
Okay. On October 28th, we signed Brett Jones to the practice squad.
Yep, brought him back.
Good old Britty Jones. He's barely seen any play time, but I think he was okay when he played, didn't he?
I like him as a backup center.
Oh, for sure. Good backup. Probably, yeah. Maybe one of the best backup centers in the league. Who knows?
Interesting move to cut him, but hey, we got it back, so it doesn't matter.
And maybe that was the plan the whole time. They let him go thinking, hey, we'll just bring him right back. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but maybe that was the plan.
Yep.
And then on October 28th, we placed Cameron Dantzler on reserve / COVID-19. I don't think that was a real injury.
It wasn't. It was just the COVID list, and he ended up playing anyway.
Correct.
Tested negative, and
correct. Yep. Obviously,
ended up not making any difference.
He was out there. We might as well comment on him that he did get hurt.
Oh, there were a couple injuries in this game.
Yep.
Dantzler, he got hit in the head by Anthony Harris, just trying to make a tackle.
Yep.
So he got carted off the field. It was pretty scary. They reported during the game that he was being evaluated for a concussion and he had a neck injury. I think they took him to the hospital, but
oofed up.
Good news is, earlier today, Mike Zimmer said that Dantzler is doing well.
Fantastic.
And there's even a chance he might play this coming Sunday against the Lions.
Fantastic.
So fingers crossed on that. But either way, just get better, Dantzler.
Fast track that recovery. Good cover-up. All right. On October 30th, we placed Mike Hughes, Mr. I'm Always Hurt, barely played since he joined the team, on reserve injured list, not reserve COVID list.
He was on the IR,
Yep. We also placed linebacker Todd Davis. That's the guy we got from the Broncos.
Todd Davis.
On reserve/COVID list. And then we also signed Curtis Riley to the active roster. Who the hell? He's a safety, apparently. Curtis Riley.
Don't know a whole lot about him. Where'd we get him from again? The Cardinals?
Well, let's take a look. It's in a book, a Reading Rainbow. It doesn't say here on this transaction page. Curtis Riley, it looks like Cardinals. It looks like the Cardinals.
Maybe from the Cardinals practice squad or something, or
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
He was cut off of Vikings signed Curtis Riley off Cardinals practice squad. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That is the
we
headline.
Poached someone's practice squad, just like we did with the Jaguars with Rashad Hill.
Just like we poaching them eggs, boy.
Oh.
Poaching them eggs out there.
Don't know a whole lot about Curtis Riley. Don't know if this is a really good move or not.
Maybe you should do your research before you do a pod fart. You fucking. You're the brain of this operation. I'm just the bad looks and I drive the ship. I run all the equipment. I keep the flow going and I try to make people laugh and pre-record segments. You're supposed to do the rest.
It's a defensive move, so I trust Zimmer. There you go.
I trust him to a fault. I think there's a few rips in the bottom of that chair, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
No, I do. I still do trust him. I still do trust him. I'm starting to waver faith in some of the other front office.
This game.
Yeah. On October 31st, happy Halloween, we activated Cameron Dantzler from the reserve COVID list. We also activated Troy Dye from the reserved injured list. We activated Chris Jones from exemption. And Brett Jones from the practice squad to the active roster via a COVID-19 replacement. This is getting complicated. We elevated, they used the word elevated, defensive back Luther Kirk, love that name, and defensive tackle Hercules Mataafa from the practice squad to the active roster.
Yep, you're allowed to elevate 2 players from the practice squad on game day and have a 55-man roster for game day. Hercules Mataafa, he got a few snaps.
Welcome back, too.
He got a couple snaps. I think they moved him to defensive end.
Okay.
Actually.
We kind of need it right now a little bit, too. So.
Well, they moved him away from defensive tackle.
Right.
He's not inside anymore. They put him at end.
I feel like we're a little strained on our D-line in general, though, right now, obviously.
Well,
a little thin, maybe.
Having Michael Pierce opt out was not ideal.
No,
sure.
no, it wasn't. But
well, and we traded Ngakwe away, and we're down to Neil Hunter. So yeah,
correct.
We're
little thin.
We're missing some people.
I have faith in our guys, but a little thin.
Well, they did have a pretty good game actually. Jaleel Johnson, he had a good game.
Did I do that?
Hey, yes, sir.
Jaleel. All right. Well, we can break down the game further too. That's all I got for roster moves. Is there any other news we should talk about? Injuries, things
just
of that nature.
A couple other injuries that happened during the game because Mark Fields, he got a punctured lung. Actually, he had a lung punctured.
I saw that from a cleat.
Yeah, from one of the Packer receivers' cleats.
Fucking
punctured
assholes.
his lung, and also Chris Boyd, he hurt his knee. If you remember that play, I think he was covering Devontae Adams on a play, and he just went down grabbing his knee during the play.
Right.
So, yeah, when Chris Boyd got hurt, God, I think we brought Josh Metellus in to play a few snaps. Oh, that was brutal.
Boyd already was watching his hamstring and his back and was limited to Wednesday and Thursday going into this game, too.
Ooh, okay.
So, but yeah, he was already limited.
Hoping that wasn't like a re-aggravation of the same injury. That would be worst case.
The only two that didn't practice all week going into this Week 8 game was Holton Hill and Mike Hughes. And then Boyd was limited. Dalvin was limited and was full on Friday and obviously played. Ant-Man had a wrist, fully practiced. Samia, wrist, fully practiced. Thielen is listed as shoulder, fully practiced. And then Dan... Chisena
I don't know how you pronounce his name.
has
yet.
a bad hip and was out. Poor
Mike
Dan.
Hughes and Holton Hill were inactive to start the game.
Yes.
We're getting thin on corner.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that Adam Thielen volunteered to play. Maybe Zimmer will have to take off his headset.
Really?
You never know. You never know, man. We're getting down to the last of it there. We don't have many people left. It almost kind of reminds me of that time on The Simpsons.
Gang, that was my last quarterback. Now what am I gonna do? You!
Me?
Yeah, you! Get your hand off my wife's leg!
Sorry.
Took a turn for the goofy there.
Well, back in the late 90s, Robert Tate was a wide receiver for us, and we switched him to corner, so...
It seems like an easy transition. Both are fast. Both aren't as necessarily a bigger built position. Both are kind of more taller guys, slender guys, wingspans. Both focus on the same trait of running routes, looking back, getting their arms up, catching the ball. It seems like a pretty fairly similar position in a few ways.
Well, there's a lot of different things to...
Defensive look.
Coach's office and everything.
100%.
Playbook and all that. But,
100%. I feel like it would be a simpler transition than people might think.
Well, people have done it at the professional level anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's easy to do, but I mean, if we're talking about position switches, just for that, either O-line to D-line, whatever, or receiver to corner, I suppose.
Right. I bet you could take Thielen and put him out there at corner and just be like, here, go use your talent, use your natural ability.
Cover that guy.
And do your best. I bet he'd fucking kill it. I bet he'd do great. I bet he would do fucking great. Right out of the gate, I bet he'd do great because he just has a natural ability.
Well, I'm figuring he probably would have enough natural ability to not actually be the worst corner that's ever played the game. I don't know if I would trust him to just kill it right away.
All right.
But, I mean, look, Cameron Dantzler, great corner in college. He was the draft pick I was the most excited about coming into the year.
Right.
And he's had his struggles. I mean, it's just that hard to play corner in the NFL.
It is. It is. And then when you have a porcelain body and you get hurt right away,
well,
they don't make them like they used to, they say. They don't make them like they
sometimes
used
there's
to.
just bad luck too. It's hard to say right now.
Let's do a quick impromptu hammer hot seat.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make this a segment, and I'm gonna make a title for it.
Or
But right
it's
now
just
it's
a
just me
rapid
saying,
fire.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just want to ask you one thing, talking about bad corners. Hammer hot seat.
Okay.
Who's the worst corner in Vikings history? Go.
Chris Cook.
Wow, he fired that off quick, and Fred Smoot would be disappointed.
Fred Smoot at least had a couple of sporadic interceptions here and there.
You're right.
Look, Chris Cook was an early second round pick
Uh-huh.
for us.
Yeah.
2010, I believe it was. His whole rookie contract, 4
Mhm.
years, starting corner, 0 interceptions. Terrible player. That's who I'm going with. I'm going with Chris Cook.
Terrible player. All right.
I'm willing to listen to other suggestions, like from other Viking fans, if they think there might have been a corner worse than Chris Cook.
Yeah, go wherever you
That's
want.
going to be my answer for that.
Go to Facebook, Twitter, Purple Pain, tell Hammer who you think is the worst corner in Vikings history. So get on that, Vikings Nation.
I'm willing to listen. So
That's been this week's Hammer's Hot Seat.
All
right, let's move on to, I think, so it's added for the news and the roster moves and everything that you want to say. Speak your piece.
Yes. I suppose this isn't really Viking news, but Packer running back A.J. Dillon just tested positive for COVID. So the Vikings team is...
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings team is, what do they call it? Intensive COVID protocol? Whatever they call it.
Quarantining and very worried right now.
Yeah, the Vikings are they're in the more restrictive protocols for COVID right now because of A.J. Dillon testing positive. Thanks a lot, Packers.
Thanks a lot, assholes. Yeah. Like usual. Coming through in the clutch again.
Shouldn't that cheese be in your mouth, not on your head?
Well, at least we beat your ass and made you look bad. All right, let's get
what
into...
a wondrous game to watch, huh?
Let's get into that game. Yes. We don't have anything to split up the segments here like the player focus last week, but let's just go ahead and get into it. We beat your Green Bay Packers at Lambeau 28-22. Hammer won the prediction game. He said 20 Vikings 20, the Packers 27. You were decently off on both scores. I said Vikings 26. I was off by 2 on our score, and I was way off. I said that the Packers would score 34. Both of us said that the Packers would win, which we were, well, dead wrong. I should have kept going with my homerness of the Vikings always winning. It wouldn't have mattered, actually. It's all about the score, so. But yes, Hammer wins this week's score prediction, you son of a bitch. We'll get to the Lions game later. You are now like our record.
2-5.
2-5, just like our record. Way to keep pace with the Vikings.
I do what I can.
All right, well, let's talk about the game. Kirk was non-existent. Dalvin Cook, it was the Dalvin Cook show out there. Do you think they planned that on purpose?
Oh, yeah. Well, there were, gale force winds pretty much at Lambeau that day. I mean, it was, I guess, one of the windiest games in Lambeau history, so.
It is a big open toilet bowl. Open air toilet bowl.
I mean, with the weather being what it was and with our roster being what it is, I mean, absolutely this was, you had to know this was coming. We were going to try to ride Dalvin as much as we could.
I feel like some people were kind of disappointed we played him. They wanted him to sit because the season was pretty much given up on. We got one win going into this game. I think people wanted him to just sit and get healthy. Did you see any of that sentiment?
That's a little bit. That's not something you can really blame Zimmer for, though. It's not like we're 0-8 now or whatever.
True. There could be worse. It could be worse, everybody. Surprisingly, it could be worse.
The point is we're not mathematically eliminated from playoff contention yet.
Correct.
So Zimmer has to play it out until we are, at the very least. I mean, if we're not mathematically eliminated and he's just giving up, not trying to win games, I mean, you think the Wilfs are going to be happy with that? Or Spielman?
No, they'll want to fire him. They'll be like, if you're not winning games, you're gone.
I mean, playing Dalvin is fine right now, I think.
All right. I mean, I think we still got a chance to come back, to maybe be better than 500, maybe sneak into the playoffs. We technically have a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, a couple years ago, the Chiefs started 1-5, and they made the playoffs.
Damn right. You damn right. And never, ever forget that 5-5 Giants team that won the Super Bowl, because I know I sure as fuck won't. They're a shining example of mediocrity rising to the top of the creamed corn bath.
Well, and they beat the Patriots. That's what a lot of people remember.
That's true. Very true. Manning to Cruz, you're going to lose. All right. Kirk Cousins, super quiet. The Human Cup of Ranch went 11 for 14. Even for being a low-key performance, his stat line looked kind of awful, but he wasn't trying. 11 for 14, 160 yards, 1 TD. Hey, he didn't give up the ball. Second game of the season that he didn't give up a fucking interception. Congratulations, my friend. You've made it.
Well, his stats look fine. I mean,
they're fine, but they're very low-key.
It's just
they're very
a small
quiet.
Sample size. I mean,
he wasn't trying.
At 11. Well, he was at 11.4 yards per attempt, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was a conservative,
which is a really
decent
good number for a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were setting it up so we weren't asking him to do a whole lot, and there was a lot of running after the catch, a lot of short passes, but part of that was just the weather too.
Right. That's true.
Well,
you think we're going to keep doing that?
What's that?
You think we're going to keep limiting him?
Not as much as we did today. We absolutely will be feeding Dalvin as much as we reasonably can.
Which makes me cringe, because then he's probably just going to get hurt again if we keep giving him 30 carries a fucking game for the rest of the season.
That is a worry.
It's a big worry. Some people say maybe you should limit him. Maybe they'll limit him in this game, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, fingers crossed on that. I don't know if we're
Hammer's speechless over here.
Well, I don't know if we're going to limit Cousins as much as we did today, though. I don't think we'll be doing that. He is a $30+ million QB. We will occasionally ask him to throw it.
What? Well, he just throws a pick, though. Sometimes,
Well, he didn't this game in Lambeau, so for that, we are forever grateful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for not throwing a pick, Cousins.
The O-line was a shining spot of this game. Delvin had 30 carries, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, average 5.4. My God. And obviously our O-line was doing something right. Delvin was firing on all cylinders. My God.
I think I would give our offensive line the game ball for the
game
today.
Another segment pre-record I want to have for Title 4. So you'd give our game ball
to the offensive line. Our
shining star of the week, if you will. You give it to the O-line, huh?
I would. We've already given Delvin Cook the game ball once this year.
You're right.
I do like to try to mix it up as much as I can, and this was
I agree.
Easily the best game of the year for our O-line. So my vote would be game ball this week goes to the O-line.
Agreed. Let it be cemented.
Right. It has been writ.
In history. I will mail them a golden ball, and they can all share it on the weekend.
I mean, Brian O'Neill had a great game. Garrett Bradbury had a great game. Dakota Dozier was he was okay. Ezra Cleveland, how about that?
How about it?
I mean, he had such a rough game his debut, his first day, but the difference is just night and day for last week to this week. I mean,
Laying the lumber.
He was pushing people around all game.
Laying the lumber, as they say. Good. I hope one of our rookies works out besides JJ.
Well, I guess I'm trying to temper the enthusiasm a little. I mean, the Packers are pitiful weaklings when it comes to stopping the run. So
even though they were 5-1?
Yeah, even though they were 5-1 as a team. Yeah, the Packers' run defense is awful.
It's like, God damn.
They're bottom 5 team in the league when it comes to stopping the run. So
yikes.
I think we're going to know more about Ezra Cleveland in 2 weeks after that Bears game. I mean, we're playing the Lions next week, and the Lions are kind of soft against the run too. But in 2 weeks, when we go into Chicago Monday night and we play the Bears with that defensive front, if Cleveland still looks good, if Ezra Cleveland still looks good, maybe he could play right guard. I mean, I think a lot of us just had him penciled in as strictly a tackle.
Right.
A left tackle of the future, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he keeps this up the whole year, it might actually be kind of tough to move him from right guard.
I think everybody be fine with that.
Well, there is a little bit of a chance maybe he is actually our right guard of the future.
Cool. Good. I like play as the future. Having peace of mind and knowing somebody's going to be solid at a spot for a long time,
now,
like Daniil Hunter.
If Ezra Cleveland struggles against the Bears, like if it just goes back to him kind of not looking the best for most of the rest of the year and everything, and it turns out this was just a good game against a really bad D-line, then I'd say, yeah, we'll probably...
You can still argue rookie season.
Well, then we'll still probably move Ezra Cleveland to left tackle. We'll let Riley Reif go, and I don't know. I'd like to see Oli Udoh get a shot at the right guard spot. Because if he can handle right guard, then we would just need a left guard and we're set.
Mm-hmm.
And Oli Udoh, from the limited play time he got last year, he looked pretty good.
Good. I like it. We need to bump up that O-line real bad still. I'm liking it.
We do have a lot of nice pieces now. I mean, this game, it showed how the zone blocking scheme can beat a 3-4 defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always kind of felt this last couple of years that scheme-wise, we actually match up relatively well with the Packers and the Bears. Because the zone blocking scheme, that's the scheme that would work best against a 3-4. So, I mean, getting O-linemen that can get out in space, get to the second level and everything. I mean, essentially, you can double team the defensive linemen on the other team that need doubling, like Kenny Clark, whatever. You can double the guys you need to double up front and still maybe get a block or two on a linebacker second level because you get combination blocks and guys are sliding off. And I mean, you need athletes to be able to pull that off, but if you have the right guys for it, can work wonders.
Hell yeah.
That's what we saw this Packer game, I think.
Oh, we did. And Delvin even led the receiving corps by a long shot.
Oh, beautiful.
He was only 2 for 3, but he had 63 yards and a TD receiving.
Oh, the screen pass, sure.
Mm-hmm. Thielen was 3 for 4 with 27 yards, and it just goes down from there. We had like a non-existent receiving corps. It was really the Delvin show. My God, what would we do without him? I feel it feels stupid having a team that revolves around one player, and if he's gone, we're just like nothing. But it's kind of how we are right now.
Hey, man, the Packers are that way even more with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is more important to them than Dalvin Cook is to us.
But that's a position that can make more happen.
So you're more okay with a team just needing
relying on a really good quarterback. There's a lot of other. He could have shitty receivers and make them look good, throw to them properly.
That's what he's been doing.
You could have a mediocre running back in there, right? They're 5-1. I mean, versus just you got mediocre pieces everywhere else of the puzzle except for running back. I mean, we had AP for 10 years, and you see what happened during a lot of those 10 years, and Mike Tice and Brad Childress. Hey, let's just have AP run. People go, we're going to shut that shit down. And then they do, and we're just going, oh, how do we win a game? You can't just rely on one beautifully talented running back.
A quarterback can affect a game more than a running back can. I'll give you that.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, they're sometimes helping call plays, calling audibles. I mean, they're driving a lot of the action, unless they're just handing the ball off. Even then, they could have a bad handoff, fuck up the play, fumble, whatever the fuck, you know?
Well, of course, you don't want to just be relying on one good running back and have nothing else. It's good to have that good running back, and hopefully you have a lot of great players around him, and you're not just, leaning on him for everything.
Well, that's the thing. We have a lot of great people on this team, but this game we literally did.
Yeah.
Cook literally did do everything.
Well,
everything.
Delvin did make a lot happen on his own. I mean, that screen pass he got the touchdown on.
Beautiful.
That wasn't us beating them on the chalkboard.
That was, fuck, dump it off.
Well, our O-line did a good job blocking, but Dalvin also broke like 5 tackles on his own.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
I mean, it wasn't one of those screen passes where we caught the other team in a blitz.
Right.
Like we beat them on the chalkboard. And,
right.
We just play calling, we got it. That play, the Packers rushed 4.
It felt like Kirk was like, I got to get rid of this. Hey, there's Dalvin. Dump it off to him, and then Dalvin makes something happen.
It was a screen pass, but...
Right.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Packers rushed 4. They dropped the other 7 back into coverage. It's a play really that shouldn't have been a touchdown.
Right.
I mean, the play call got the first down, but yeah, I mean, after our O lineman got out there, threw some nice blocks and everything, Delvin, the last 30 yards, it was just the Delvin Cook show.
It really was.
Just breaking tackles the whole way.
It was. All right. Well, any other notes on offense before we jump to defense?
Well, Irv Smith had a good game too. CJ Ham had a good game. I mean, the blocking was really good all around.
On point back there. They might not be on the offensive board, as far as stats, but they're doing their jobs. They're doing their blocking schemes.
Well, Irv Smith Jr. threw a couple of blocks that were just magnifique.
He might not be getting balls thrown to him. Well, he did have one, and he caught it and got 16 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important. And he might not be getting targeted a lot, but he's growing, he's doing his job, and he's playing well.
And I feel also like when things are going well, Chad Beebe will have a third down conversion catch.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere during the game, which he did in this game.
Again, 1 for 1, 16 yards, just like Irv.
It was on a third down, and he caught it first. That's always, I think, been Chad Beebe's ceiling for us.
Right.
But I think he'd be a big, just hardcore third down conversion guy.
Right.
Which
that's his sole purpose in life.
Well,
that is his purpose.
As long as he converts a first down on a third down once every game, I'd say you're good, BB. Keep it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your dad would be proud. Donnie boy would be proud of you. All right, well, let's get into the Let's
the play
get into
calling,
the defense.
Well, one last thing. The play calling on offense was really good, too.
You like what Kubiak did?
I like what Kubiak did.
Run.
Well, running more than passing was absolutely the right move for many different reasons. But I will also say Kubiak mixed it up enough. Like, he threw it on first down enough, just enough to keep the Packers defense honest.
Right.
I mean, remember there was a play action rollout where Cousins did that jump throw to Kyle Rudolph on first down, play action rollout.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another really good play call. I think it was early in the third quarter, maybe. I forget where it was, but it was a play where the Packers were all right up on the line, like in the box, and he just did a quick throw out to Adam Thielen. And Adam Thielen ended up breaking his tackle, beating his guy, and getting like 12 yards. It was a first down where it was just a pitch and catch to Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of times they threw it on first down to mix it up just enough. I like what Kubiak did play calling wise.
I like it.
It was good.
I like it. All right. Well, the play calling. What do you think about the refereeing in this game? Let's actually touch on that quick.
It wasn't good. The referees made a couple mistakes on both sides. I thought overall they might have slightly favored the Vikings. Like, the mistakes maybe benefited the Vikings a little more than it did the Packers.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Well, I know there was a pass interference they threw on Anthony Harris, and they ended up picking up the flag. I mean, it was pretty on par with a couple of the penalties the Packers had, because they flagged the Packers for pass interference a couple of times on that third quarter drive that helped us get a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I thought what Anthony Harris did was kind of on par with that. Like, if you're going to penalize that, they probably should have penalized Harris also.
Mm-hmm.
They also flagged Irv Smith Jr. for an offensive PI that was bullshit.
Total bullshit.
That took away a big first down we had gotten. Then we ended up having to punt late because of that.
Hammer was sitting there going,
Do that whistle one more time, I'm going to stick it up your fucking ass.
The second half, the referees were throwing too many flags, I thought.
Too many flags?
Yeah.
Too many cooks?
The pass interference penalties, those mistakes kind of evened themselves out,
Mm-hmm.
I thought. There was a holding penalty they flagged the Packers for. I forget who got flagged for it. Was it Billy Turner? I forget which O-lineman it was. One of the Packer guys got flagged for a holding, and I remember watching that and telling my dad, yeah, I wouldn't have flagged that. That was a mistake that helped us out.
Why don't you go be an NFL referee? You're so smart.
Well, I think I probably make more money just driving a truck.
They got to get like $100K a year, dude.
I don't think they get that much.
NFL referees?
I don't think they get that much.
Yeah, I think they do, man.
Aren't NFL referees part-time still, or did they change that finally?
I don't know, man. All right, according to various sites, including FanDuel, the average NFL referee salary was set at $205,000 per year starting in 2019.
Okay, never mind. I would make more money as a referee.
Yes. Are they full-time? Apparently
Maybe
it's not a full-time job. It's like when you're not at the fucking stadium, but in a couple of meetings, it's not like you're doing anything.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, you could have your part-time job down at the clinic, spreading disease or whatever the fuck.
When I'm not working, I'm not working, but I have a full-time job driving a truck. Like, they call it full-time, even though I'm not literally driving a truck 24/7.
Oh, just think of how much time they probably get to the stadium a couple hours early, like the players do. They probably leave an hour after, like the players do, and they're there for 3 hours for the game. And that's their main work hours, quote unquote, if you will.
Well,
Beyond that, they probably got a couple meetings with the NFL, and that's about it.
That's what I was going to say. Is they probably do have some meetings,
and they probably all do what, one game a week?
Yeah. Well, that's all they could do is one game a week.
Yeah, that's not a lot of time for getting paid. I thought it was at least $100,000 a year. The NFL's got fucking money bags, dude.
I imagine it's a pretty thankless job, and
I'm sure they're
they
fucking
end up getting
hated.
criticized to no end.
Oh yeah, 100%. But if you're just walking around the street, you probably don't go, "Hey, that guy's a referee."
It might surprise you. I'm sure
the ones that are always on Sunday Night Football, fucking making the calls with the mics and stuff. Maybe, yeah.
Well, the thing
We're
is,
usually making tea.
they alternate the referee crews. I mean, every referee crew, I think, gets a Sunday night game at some point. So
True.
It would surprise you, I think, how often people probably would recognize an NFL referee.
All right.
Just on the street.
Man on the street. All right. Well, let's get to the defense. I want 'em. I want to get to the defense.
DJ want 'em.
He had the most beautiful last play I've ever seen. He made Aaron Rodgers look like an idiot. He made him look like an idiot. He gave him a hug after a rivalry ended on the field. He gave
what a
him nice
perfect
hug.
way to end that game. Huh?
Force fumble, baby. Force fumble for Wanham.
For all the times we've had to watch Aaron Rodgers get a Hail
Throw a
Mary
Hail
touchdown
Mary.
pass on the last play.
Yep.
Just to have an unceremonious, from behind, bam, fumble, game over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Eric Wilson recovered a fumble, it says.
Well, he recovered that last
Correct,
fumble.
Yep. Harry and Ant-Man both had a pass deflected.
Okay.
Otherwise, we only had the one sack, again by Wanham. That's it. Pretty quiet for sacks, and tackles for loss were non-existent in this game. But I feel like the defense overall did its job, obviously. And, I mean, they still scored 22. That's not bad. Could be worse. Could be better. What do you think of the overall D play on this one?
Well, the first half defense was pretty rough. I don't know how much of that was Dantzler getting hurt pretty early. The first half, the defense was very uninspired. We were letting the Packers kind of do whatever they wanted. And, I mean, we made halftime adjustments, and it got a lot better in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the whole game, Eric Kendricks was a baller.
Always.
Eric Kendricks was everywhere. He was.
That's why I got his jersey in my closet over there.
I mean, for a while, our defense this game was Eric Kendricks, a couple safeties, and a ball of duct tape. I mean,
well, that's a quote from the Hammer right there.
It was a patchwork, defense that we were
make that into a drop.
We were working with.
Wow, yeah.
Credit Mike Zimmer though. I mean,
solid game.
Zimmer found a way to slow the Packers down in the second half with like third string corners and
right.
I mean, Mike Zimmer has been so hamstrung with injuries and rookies playing. This game might be. I mean, either this
it's
or
a
the
shining
Seahawks
achievement.
Game.
Yeah.
Either this or the Seahawks game would be his best coach game of the year.
That one he definitely had more tools in his toolbox to work with that weren't hurt or out or traded. But yeah, for what he had to work with in this game, hats off.
Yeah, hats off to Zimmer.
Michael Zimmer.
Zimmer did an amazing coaching job this game.
Mm-hmm. You sure you don't want to give him the game ball?
Well,
why did I?
I mean,
say
you do
it?
have
Now
me
he's
thinking now.
I'm thinking about it. Would anybody get the turd of the week?
Turd of the week.
I mean, we really probably shouldn't give one out since it was a great win at home in Green Bay.
So we don't have to. I mean, I'm trying to, like, if we would have lost, who would I have given it to? Josh Metellus.
Okay.
I guess, maybe.
Even if you get a win, and most people did good, I'm sure there's still one or two that was like, okay.
Well, Josh Metellus, I mean, he committed.
You said you don't want to see him out there ever again.
I don't want to. Well, not this year. I don't want to see him starting this year. He's a rookie and he still could get better. But
right.
I mean, he had a pass interference in the end zone on Devontae Adams and still couldn't stop him.
Not unless you had a brain transplant.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't think of anyone else that would be a turd of the week candidate.
All right. I just like my segments.
Anyway.
That's all.
I don't want to dog Metellus too much. He is a rookie.
All right. Anything else? And any other words about the defense you can think of?
Well, defensive line, Jaleel Johnson. This was his best game probably ever that I can remember. Jaleel Johnson looked really good.
Did he do a swim move?
I don't remember specifically if he ever did a swim move, but he did a tackle Jamal Williams for no loss move a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice actually seeing a defensive tackle a running back for no gain a couple times.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since we've had that.
It has. Absolutely. Where has Armand Watts gone?
Probably down the street to Taco Bell. I don't know.
God, he was the guy I was kind of wondering if he maybe could be our starting 3-tech.
Right.
At the end of last year, but
you were hoping.
Armon Watts has kind of disappeared this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're maybe grooming James Lynch for that spot. Didn't see James Lynch out there too much. I think he might have got in on a couple snaps, but I don't really remember him. Nice game for DJ Wanham, not just for the last play.
Wanham.
Not just for the last play. He had a pretty solid game, beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive line defended the run pretty well. Didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Rodgers. I wonder how much of that was just making sure they kept contain on him.
Right.
As Rodgers, you can't let him out of the pocket.
Somebody's spying him, right? Or somebody's kind of keeping their eye on him.
Well, I don't think there was a spy on him most plays. I think Zimmer decided to just more have the defensive linemen stay in their pass rushing lanes. Just keep contained, keep them in the pocket.
Right.
Don't get too far out of position going for a sack and
don't let him get out of the fucking pocket. As that one drop that I have says.
Yeah, that's a great drop. Trying to think of anyone else on the D line. Nothing I'm thinking of offhand. Linebackers, Kendricks had a great game. He'd be a game ball of the game candidate.
Okay.
I'd say either O-line or Zimmer, though. Now that you mentioned...
I think we should go with O-line, but
there's
still 8 games left, man. There's still 8 games left.
The decision has been made. We'll stick with O-line, but Mike Zimmer is a very worthy, honorable mention there.
All right. There's still we're only halfway through the season, man. We got plenty of time left to give up more game balls for wins, hopefully. Oop, bumped my microphone there.
Eric Wilson was solid.
I'm getting a little excited.
Troy Dye, I didn't see much of him. I saw him a couple times, but he didn't do a whole lot noteworthy that I saw.
He didn't, no.
That's it for the linebackers. Pass defense. Gladney was kind of up and down, I thought. There were some plays where he was just right there with his guy, and there were other times where it looked like he kind of got beat. Hughes and Hill were out. Dantzler looked okay, and then he got hurt right away.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really notice Mark Fields a whole lot. I'm not sure what kind of game he had, really.
One of those don't see him not doing bad, but not doing playmaking. Just kind of don't see him, doesn't exist.
Didn't see him, didn't notice him. Harrison Hand got beat once or twice, but he recovered reasonably well on those plays. Like there were plays where he got beat and he was just getting there as the ball was getting there. Harrison Hand could develop into a nice backup corner, I think. Maybe starter in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing he probably will end up starting next week, just out of necessity. Harrison Hand.
Yeah.
Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris did okay, I thought.
Adam Thielen might be starting at corner next week.
Yeah, I doubt that. I think we need to keep him running passing routes.
Yeah, you're right.
Harrison Smith, Anthony Harris, they're both, of course, great safeties. They played good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
Aaron Rodgers was talking about it in his post-game interview afterwards. He said they played a lot of cover 2, which is something that the Mike Zimmer defense traditionally doesn't do a whole lot of. And it was all just about taking the deep ball away, the big play away, making them drive down the field. And it ended up mostly paying off in the second half.
That very first possession of the Packers, they did drive down the field on us and make it look easy. But then we did that the next possession to them. We made it look easy with Delvin Cook. And
then they did that to us, and then we did it back to them.
It was like an old-fashioned shootout, back and forth.
The first half, the Packers did,
right?
Just kind of drive it down the field, 15 plays and all that.
Right. Adjustments.
Third quarter, though, Zimmer was able to kind of patchwork it up enough to...
They got yelled at.
To actually stop them a couple times.
Keep him in the fucking pocket.
Couple fourth downs and everything. The Packers going for a couple of those 4th and longs was a little head scratching. 4th and 10, and they went for it.
Right.
There were a couple times I actually thought them punting it would have been the better move.
Right.
Because we ended up getting field position back, just flipping it right away.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of field position, we were spreading around the kickoff returns. KJ Osborne had 2 and averaged 20 and a 27 long. Amir only had 1 and just got 9 yards out of it. Mike Boone had actually a return out there and had 17 yards off of that one. So we're kind of spreading that out.
Well, the Amir Abdullah return was just a short kick. I mean, that was just a kick. I think he fielded it at the 15-yard line.
Oh,
it was just a short kick, so he happened to field it.
Right.
He only got 9 yards on it just because, it was a short
Couldn't go
kick.
far. Couldn't go far.
It didn't go far.
Yeah.
I think KJ Osborne is the full-time kick returner.
Okay. Well, that's kind of new for this season.
Well, I mean, it was Amir Abdullah last year.
Right.
Osborne is a rookie, so it would be new.
All right. Dan Bailey went 4 for 4 in his extra points. That's always good to see. No field goals.
One of them was kind of awkward.
No field goals for
Daniel.
Daniel.
Saw the one. There was one extra point attempt. It was a super high snap, and Bailey's timing got thrown off. He had to pause, and then he went and kicked it. And
still executed.
And the guys calling the game, they pointed out the Packers guys that were rushing. They just kind of stopped. Like, they were just like, it's an extra point, whatever. Like, they didn't bother rushing. They would have had an easy extra point block if they would have put max
actually
effort
fucking
in.
tried.
If they would have tried, yeah.
Man. I wasn't too impressed with those commentators. They fucked up our names, our numbers a couple times. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think they called Cook Madison once, and it's just like, what are you doing, man?
Well, we weren't listening to Tony Romo calling the game. That's for sure.
Right. I think they said a couple names wrong. It's just like, all right, I like how they bring in these guys that do zero fucking research on our players and names and numbers.
Well, in all fairness, I still don't know how you're supposed to pronounce Chisina. Is it Chisina? Chisina?
Yeah, Chisina. Yeah,
Chisina.
John Cena.
I have no idea how you're.
All right. Is that about it for the defense and special teams?
Well, play calling on the defensive side, I normally I would say it was too predictable and all that, but given the constraints Zimmer had, he was doing what he could.
Solid.
He was doing what he could, and he actually did blitz Aaron Rodgers once or twice, and the couple times he did, it paid off. I know that's one complaint a lot of fans will probably have is, Zimmer, you gotta blitz more, man. You can't just let Rodgers stand back there. You gotta bring it, man. And it's easy to say that, but
right, it's easy to say, and it's for the most part true. But
Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame QB, and Zimmer, with these corners he has, I mean, he had to be really careful with when he blitzed him.
Right, because that's when that man's up there doing that, you've got a gap in your coverage.
Well,
you've got a gap on a tackle.
You don't want man-to-man coverage a whole lot when
right.
your corners are young and like ours.
Right.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I think in his post-game interview, he said the one time Devontae Adams had single coverage, he just went right to him and it was a touchdown.
Right.
And he was like, that was the one play. Otherwise, we were doubling him and everything.
It's kind of funny how Devontae got all of their touchdowns and Cook pretty much got all of our touchdowns.
Yeah, well, that's
kind of like that Thielen-Jordy joust. I think it was last year or the year before when Jordy was putting up numbers and Thielen was putting up numbers. They were both just the dominating,
Well, keep in mind
teams.
the Packers didn't have Aaron Jones this game. When you don't have Aaron Jones, but you do have Devontae Adams.
Right.
Yeah, the right move probably will be to throw to Adams a few times.
Right.
I mean, the strategy-wise, this game was pretty much, I think, what everyone expected, given the weather for the game and the winds and the injuries to the certain players on each team.
Oh, this is great.
What's that?
Guess who won time of possession, Hammer? I'll give
the Vikings.
I'll give you one clue. It's not the team that won.
Wow.
Baby. You know it only happens a couple times a year, but here it fucking comes, baby.
Oh, good Lord.
The Packers won time of possession 32-12 as the Vikings at 27-48, proving that you don't need to have the ball more to win. Can I get some validation?
That is surprising. It felt like the Vikings had it longer. Huh. All right.
when you're efficient at driving down the field and scoring a touchdown, you don't hang on to it for very long, sir.
Well, apparently the Packers held on to it a little more than we did.
This was a very very low-key close game, except for penalties. We had 7, they had 9. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
both a little high. 9.
That's a refreshing change that the Packers actually.
I haven't seen 9 as a number on the
penalized
penalties for a while. Yeah, they got penalized to hell and back, man.
Well, I think Matt LaFleur was saying that this particular refereeing crew, on average, does tend to throw more flags than the average crew.
Yeah, well, LaFleur can
suck failure, freaks.
That's what LaFleur can do with his little Green Bay Packers. God, I didn't have the LaFleur drop. I fucked up, man. We have that LaFleur drop. That would have been perfect for this one. Still, they can suck failure.
I think the jury's still out on whether or not Matt LaFleur is a good head coach.
Yeah. This is what, his second year?
It's his second season.
Yeah.
In his time with the Packers have caught a lot of breaks. I mean, scheduling wise and things of that nature. I'm not sure. He might be. The jury's still out, I think, on LaFleur, like on if he's a good Packers head coach.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, any other? I think that's about it. Any other final? We're at the 56-minute mark. Any other final words about this game? Offense or defense or coaching? Anything like that?
Well, just that I would say that this win shouldn't preclude the team from trading, a player or two that isn't going to be on the team next year anyway.
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't fool Spielman into thinking he should keep everyone now.
Right.
And make a.
Oh, we're going to make a run now.
Yeah, we're not a Super Bowl team regardless of.
Not really probably going to happen this year.
Yeah,
Sorry
what
to
happens
burst
this year. So I would say we need to approach the trade deadline tomorrow the same as we would if we had lost this game.
I'm sure something's going to happen. That's going to be active.
Yeah, I'm guessing something will happen. Who's your most likely guy to get traded away? I think it's Riley Reif.
You got Riley Reif,
Kyle Rudolph,
who's
maybe?
actually a solid player more than people think. You got Kyle Rudolph, technically Daniil Hunter with the injury, blah blah blah. Maybe, I don't know, man. Who else?
Well, I don't think Daniil Hunter would get traded, but
well, people think it's the last time we've seen him in a Viking uniform after his surgery.
We'll see about that. Anthony Harris, I could see him
Ant-Man, correct. Yep, Ant-Man.
I think the most likely guy to get traded is Riley Reif because he is playing pretty well. So he maybe could get
and just took less money to stick around because he likes Minnesota.
He maybe could get a 3rd round pick in return because he's playing well enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the other pieces, I don't think we could get a 3rd round pick for them. But Riley Reif, and he's probably not going to be with the team next year, salary cap reasons and everything. So
right.
If I had to pick one guy that I think probably will get traded in the next
Reif.
24 hours, I'll say Riley Reif.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Sure.
Hammer's trading Riley Reif.
If we're talking about who I think should get traded the most, I might go Kyle Rudolph on that one.
But again, who's looking for a tight end that is been in the league for 10 years, almost 10 years?
Yeah,
he's kind of
years,
at this closing window of his career. He was great, but
well, remember he's 30. I mean, he was 21 when we drafted him. So
yeah,
Kyle
exactly.
Rudolph,
so who's looking for a 30-year-old tight end that's at the end of his career?
Well, he isn't Jason Witten though. He's not 39. He's 30.
It's true.
He might not be at the end of his career. He might.
I guess tight. You know what? Tight ends do have a longer life expectancy. You're right.
I could see Rudolph.
Tony Gonzalez was around for a long time.
I could see him playing till he's 35. Maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
The thing with him is the salary cap. I mean, who's going to want Kyle Rudolph at the cap hits that he's going to have coming up?
Right.
So for that reason,
I also feel like a team is pretty hard up for a tight end if you're clamoring for him at this point. I don't know.
Well, anybody that wants to add maybe a strong second tight end.
Right. He's not that starter. He's not that starter anymore. He's not that superstar anymore. His best years are probably behind him, unfortunately. So I mean, yeah, you're looking at a veteran, but you're looking at a very knowledgeable, very leadership driven, very giving veteran, but He's at the end of his. He's getting towards the end of his cycle window. You know his best years are behind him. You know he ain't going to be cheap yet.
Just picture like maybe the Kansas City Chiefs deciding to say, well, hey, if we can get this Kyle Rudolph guy and only give up a 6th round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, they could pair Kyle Rudolph with Travis Kelce and have like
that'd be fucking
easily the best, tight end pass catching tandem in the league.
It's not Gronk and Brady? What? What?
Brady's a QB. He's not a tight end. But anyway.
Oh, Kelce, my bad. Yeah.
Travis Kelce is a tight end for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I mean, just imagine the strain the Chiefs would put on other teams' linebackers.
Right.
With Kyle Rudolph and Travis Kelce.
That'd be pretty cool to see our boy go over to the Super Bowl winning Chiefs. That'd be kind of cool, man.
Just picture a team like the Chiefs maybe thinking, because I think at best we'd probably get like a 6th rounder back for Kyle Rudolph.
Right.
Which is better than nothing. We shouldn't just let him, we shouldn't just cut him next year and not get anything. We should trade him while we can.
There's some value there, but yeah.
But imagine from the Chiefs' point of view, they could just give up a 6th rounder and get Kyle Rudolph, make another Super Bowl run, and have 2, really proven pass catching tight ends to go with Tyreek Hill and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Pat Mahomes.
Hammer's been thinking about this quite a bit.
I have. Yeah.
You spy for the Chiefs organization or what?
No.
All right.
That's just the example that came to mind as far as like what team might actually...
Like a sweet tandem, yeah.
Well,
because I'm sitting here going, man, who's so desperate for this gold washed up guy?
Well,
and you're
I'm
like,
thinking...
the Super Bowl winning Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Super Bowl team might just try to make themselves a little stronger. So
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Any final words about this beautiful Packer win, sir?
Regardless of what happens the rest of the year, we win
that
every
felt
game,
good.
we lose every game, whatever. I just wanted us to win this game, beat the shit out of the Packers. We did. We showed everyone what weak little pathetic weaklings the Packers are.
Whoa.
Boom.
Whoa.
Take that, Packers.
In the words of
SKOL,
Ronster,
Vikings, bitches.
In the words of Ronster, that felt damn good.
Damn good. Breathing in the Gallarhorn.
Yeah, that's right. Breathe it in.
Hammer out.
You can breathe sounds, right? What do you mean hammer out? What the fuck? We haven't even talked about the next game.
Oh, all my bad. Yeah, score prediction. That's right.
Week 9 and
Hammer
score
back
prediction.
in.
Hammer's back in. He's taking in. That was dust went everywhere after I did that.
All right, so we got at home against the Lions,
the
Sunday
Lions.
at noon.
Yep, the nooner game, Central, CBS. Tune in and watch us beat. Are we going to beat the Lions? What are they like?
I think we are.
4-.
They're 3-4, I think.
No, fuck them.
Well, we're at home. We're against the Lions, and
they got more wins than us.
It sounds like Kenny Golladay isn't going to play next week because he got hurt in the Colts game this past week. So I'm going to. It's my turn to go first. I'm going to predict the Vikings beat the Lions 33-17.
33 Vikings, 17 Lions.
There it is.
Wow, there it is. There's the loss of a score, if you want to say. That is a big spread in points. Wow.
What say you, A-Train?
One score in the 30s, the other barely crossing 15. Wow, that's quite the threshold. Big spread on that one.
I'm going for it,
You're
baby.
like a French horn in a truck stop. Big spread on that one.
All right, wise guy. What's your pick?
I think I'm going to do Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci. Oh, you mean the game? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to play this game. I got to put my boot on your throat and squeeze. So let's do...
I'm just trying to get to 3 and 5.
I'm just trying to get to 500. Just like the Vikings.
Hey, if I win this coming week and I get to 3 and 5, that'll suddenly make this a little more interesting.
Yeah, maybe for you, but I'm still fucking...
You keep sleeping over there. You keep sleeping on the hammer.
Well, you've sucked the beginning of this season. All right. I'm back, I'm back, baby. Let's do. I'm gonna say Vikings win for the love of God.
Oh, you figure we just beat
homer
the Packers
shit out
in
of that.
Lambeau. We should be able to beat the Lions at home.
Yeah, well, I thought we could beat the Packers at home opening game, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, so did I.
Fucking asshole.
Well, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, I have fragile feelings.
Oh, I hurt the A-Train's feelings so much.
All right, I'm stalling. I'm Vladimir Putin and I'm Stalin. Okay. I'm Putin and I'm Stalin.
Okay.
I'm going to say, you went 33. I'm going to say Vikings 24. I really like 24. It's a number that we can hit. It's lower than yours.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to say Lions. You said you give them credit for 17. I'm going to give them credit for fuck. I think they're going to be able to score a couple touchdowns on us. Our defense is strained. It's not amazing. It's
Sounds
strained
like
as fuck.
Wanting to pick like a 24-23 type of game.
I'm going to say, if you smell what A-Train's cooking, I'm going to say 24-21.
Okay.
Sure.
Picking a close game. All right.
Let me say 22.
Oh, okay.
Can I say 22? Okay.
All right. Yeah, whatever.
24 I would never change after we're done here.
Okay, but 24
let me say 24 to
22.
24 to 22. Vikings winning over the Lions. Bears is the week after that. I got excited. All right, motherfucker. Now time to beat you, and I can smell that juicy, juicy sandwich.
Oh, bring it on, fool.
All right. Yeah. Thanks you everybody for listening. That's English, I think. Episode 117. Thanks for tuning in. Telling a friend if you did. Check out Purple Pain. Check out Odin's and podcast.com.
Vikings territory.
Vikings territory. Purple radio. Purple Territory Radio, I believe it's called. I apologize. We're linking to each other, but we don't have to shout them out every time. But check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously,
iTunes.
We still have gear. If you want to support Mike Zimmer going forward, there's still Fear the Zim Reapers.
Ooh.
We still have the #1 bestseller ever, I'm with Stupid, pointing at Wisconsin. Everybody loves that shit. Come pick it up at odinspodcast.com. Support us to help keep the lights on in the studio here, overlooking with the Minneapolis Miracle and shielding of the North. All right. Rambled on enough. Any final words, Hammer?
Hammer out.
Hammer's out. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your November 2nd week. We'll see you after the Lions game. And then after that, it's Ronster for the Bears game. We can finally get Hammer out of here. Oh, my God.
Thank you for listening to Odin's Den. Be sure to follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Get all of the latest at odinsdenpodcast.com. SKOL!
Suck failure, freaks!